Webby, GA, and Matt are here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Come and have your say.
I have a statement to make. If we had a party, we didn't know it was a party, and the dancing girls were not actually invited to this party that was not a party, never at number 10. Also, it's long been a truism in Speedway that it is a shrinking sport. Shrinking fan base, shrinking rider base, and a shrinking track base. That's why it's nice to be welcoming Oxford back to the sport tomorrow. I'm sure I echo the thoughts of all genuine Speedway fans when I send my best wishes to all the Oxford fans. It's also why it's important for each and every one of us to email our support for the planning application put forward by the group trying to return the sport to Coventry. Full details of that can be found at savecoventryspeedway.com, and let's hope I can continue to say only in Speedway.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's not a night for Speedway news, really, but hey ho.
Dangerously close to political there.
Yeah. Dangerously close to satire. Close, maybe. Would you like to say hello to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Oh, there we go, that was quick. Wow.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate professional, you know what I mean?
Well, you're ultimate something, I know. Yeah. Well, I will go. We'll say hello to Elliot and Rich Thomas and Simon Corbett and Andrew Garner, and that's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. That's all that's on at the moment.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, the others are too shy.
We've got a match on, by the way, tonight at Plymouth, and it is currently 36-30 in favour of the home side against Bellevue.
Who did I predict was going to win?
I think you went for a home win, didn't you, I think?
I probably did.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, surely, because obviously we'll get the league table.
Yeah, because that's not looking great for me at the moment. I need all the points I can get. Nick Green says, up the bees, and John Bird says, evening, guys. Yeah, get yourselves over to savecoventryspeedway.com, and it all the information that you need to email Rugby Borough Council is there, and I think it's important that we do it.
I think so, yeah. I mean, the plans, obviously we had Jeff Davis on the show last year who spoke in depth about the plans that they've got. Of course, that application has now got in. Really does look like it will be and it would be an exciting development there. Not just to return Brandon to use for Speedway and stock car racing, but as a community asset as well, with the gymnasium, and which will be available for people to use, a restaurant and things like that. So
there's talking of moving the Speedway Excellence, whatever it's called, but that we train all the riders from, moving that there as well.
Well, it's really an ideal place, isn't it? Central of the country, so fingers crossed. Now let's get Brandon Stadium back in the right hands.
Centre for Sporting Excellence.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say. There we
It's
go.
hard to say, isn't it?
It's hard to say anything at my age. Yeah, enough of that. Enough of that. So last week we got criticised a little bit.
Being a bit too
Birmingham centric. I think that was.
Who got criticised?
Well,
yeah, you. Basically, you.
Yeah, because I never let anybody else speak. That's the truth of it. And yeah, I think that was fair. So obviously, because of that, this week we're going to get Lawrence Rogers because Lawrence wants to talk about what's happening tomorrow at Birmingham because they've got all sorts of things happening and putting on to hopefully get a good crowd. So good stuff. In the meantime, what's this you was telling me earlier about problems for a Russian rider?
Rosslov against Torrent in the Extra League. I think Chris has seen the video, hasn't
I've
he?
seen it. Yeah, I should have put it on earlier.
Gleb Chuganov, of course, who is a Russian rider, still racing in the Polish league, getting a bit of unsavoury stick from the
He got a lot of stick.
from the visiting Torrent supporters. So it's
I guess given the proximity of Poland to Ukraine, it's not unsurprising.
it's not unsurprising. It also isn't Gleb Chuganov's fault. Gleb Chuganov's fault, of course. Ultimately,
not,
you know, I mean, as is the case with Artem Legutra and Emil Sarfutinov, and of course they found themselves out of the Grand Prix and all the international events through it because of it. Albeit, of course, they've both been on social media, I think, and have condemned what has happened in Ukraine. Yeah, so I mean, the worrying thing for me is, of course, I mean, you know, Polish Speedway is not like British Speedway. It's a lot more partisan. It's a lot more. It can be a bit more hostile.
Well, British Speedway used to be like that.
Used to be like that, yeah. Yeah, so it's a bit concerning as to what might happen when Rosslov start going to away tracks. It's to be hoped that nothing sort of oversteps the boundaries a little bit, to be honest. So
you have to wonder, far be it from me to stop people from earning their trade, but Poland seem to be going, if they're employing Russian riders, that seems to be going against what every other sport is doing.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, it does a little bit, to be honest. I hadn't actually, as I say, I mean, it was only until I saw this about an hour ago that I assumed that none of the Russian riders were racing in the Polish league, but obviously they are.
That.
But obviously that is the case. I mean, listen, you know, on the one hand, of course, you want to, you know, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with a little bit of, you know, rivalry and a bit of, you know,
absolutely not.
Things like that in Speedway and you know, a little bit of needle, but sometimes I think there's a boundary that you've got to.
I mean, we
overstand.
We go back to the match last year between Birmingham and Redcar, and there was lots of needle there, but the atmosphere was electric.
It was the best atmosphere I've seen at Perry Bar for quite a long time, to be honest.
We also mentioned Alan Peter Welsh. He's got something to get off his chest. Would you like to?
He certainly has, yeah. Evening, just gave the wife an Easter gift, the Speedway sticker album. Not went down too well.
Oh dear.
That's a good initiative, I think, though. To be honest,
it is, yes.
Something for especially for the kids as well.
Kids,
you know, something to.
I don't know about the kids. I might get one. That might be the prize, yeah.
Yay!
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, it's an idea anyway.
Yeah.
So, can you let everybody know how they can take part in tonight's show, please?
So if you're very, 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 very brave, you can actually phone in if you want to. Just send me a message on Facebook or
we would
in
love
the comments, and you can phone in, and it won't cost you a penny because I'll phone you. Okay. If you're listening to us on Facebook, well done, you made it.
Okay.
But you can also listen
to us. Is there a problem with Facebook?
No. Okay. But you can also listen to us on YouTube if you like. And of course, this will be available as a podcast on all the major platforms from tomorrow lunchtime. There you go.
That's all good, but what you haven't done is told them how they can join in. Which was what
okay, so if you're on Facebook, search for UK Speedway Tavern, and you'll find us on that page and group, and on all good Speedway
and
sites.
if you put your comments on, we will pick them up.
We will, yes.
That's what I'm getting.
Okay, why don't you just say that then, you pelican?
I've been doing it for over 10 years. So.
Yeah,
something like that. Something like
I'm
that.
learning.
Yeah. I very much doubt it. So anyway, we would love to have your comments about anything Speedway related. That's it, really. I mean, while we're waiting for people to ask to put their things up, and we want to know how you think your team's going. We want to know about any opinions you've got on well, anything Speedway related, really. It was a big day for Birmingham, we said last week.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, God, we're talking about Birmingham again.
Trouble.
Kicked under the table, if you
Yeah.
so.
I think you went on the record as saying it was almost a must-win, but it was certainly an important match. That
Must get a good performance, I
good
think, was
performance,
the biggest thing for me. And I think it was a good performance, to be fair. The cynic, and you might say, well, Leicester had already pretty much got through, so maybe they were taking it a bit easy. But in saying that, you can only race what's in front of you at the end of the day. But I think the biggest positive of the lot has got to be how the track held up to the rain that we had. Because had that been last season, I don't think you would have seen any racing at Perrybourne.
I might have seen some crashes.
Yeah, so it was. It was.
It was really good, wasn't
it?
it?
It was a good meeting as well, considering how difficult the conditions were.
You have to kudos to all the riders, Leicester riders and Birmingham riders, for racing on that track.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a lot of comments. The referee even made a comment on how good the track held up and how good it was. So
well, I think Andy Graham's been in the news, hasn't he, talking about how impressed he was with the way that the track held up the conditions as
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
So, which is
good. Well, it's all good stuff, and you get the feeling that the new promotion, the consortium, have got their heads screwed on as far as that side of things. The promotion and the getting the good news out and so on. It's been a positive start.
I think that was the big thing that they had to do, wasn't it? They had to sort of, I'm not saying that the Masons were promoted negatively, but I think I've said before though that the issue with the Masons really was the fact that they weren't hands on because of the fact that they were based so far away. I think the new promotion obviously are based local, and I think they've seen that one of the issues last season, of course, was the problems with the track, which created a lot of negative publicity for the club, and I think they've worked hard over the winter to improve the track.
I know that they've worked hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some things coming up. Do you want to read some of them out?
Okay, so Alan wants to know, what are your thoughts on Newcastle? Well, I think the nightclubs are absolutely brilliant. Right? I love Newcastle Brown Ale.
Who brought him?
Oh,
They had obviously they got a draw in their first home match, didn't they, or their first official home match against Redcar.
I think
decent performance.
Predicted a Redcar win. I have a feeling.
Yeah. So it's going to be a tough season for Newcastle. Again, they don't look a particularly strong team on paper. Bradley Wilson-Dean hasn't had the best of starts to the season. As Alan has alluded to there in his comments as well. I think Newcastle in some ways are almost in a similar position to what Bellevue were when they were still at the old stadium next to where they are now, is the fact that they weren't really able to progress while they were still there because it's not the best shape of track. And it's sort of, they're limited in how much time they've got to get on the track and prepare for it.
We know all about that at Birmingham, of course. And I suppose Wolverhampton as
it
well.
was to an extent Wolverhampton as well. But I think with Newcastle as well, they've struggled quite badly over the last 3 or 4 seasons, haven't they? They've not been able to be competitive. Last season was a really, really poor season for them because the team was built relatively late. It was way below the points limit. And of course, Newcastle. It looked at one point as if it was going to be Newcastle's last year. They've got some extra investment over the winter, and they've carried on. Fingers crossed that they can survive this sticky patch and get stronger, because Newcastle's a club with a great history. So it would be
absolutely. I have Major Road down.
Ollie Olsen as well. So.
Andrew wants to know what are our thoughts on the British Speedway Network streaming and presentation.
Well, I didn't watch the meeting on last Friday.
I forgot it was on. I'm totally honest.
Right.
That's a good start, isn't it? So
I was busy planning for my 450-mile round trip out on the weekend. So I can only comment on the first one, and I thought it was a good start. Could could improve.
Yeah, they were nervous, I think, in that first meeting, weren't they? I think that's
I think they were trying too hard.
possibly a little bit, yeah. It's probably not helped with the fact that it wasn't the most competitive match to pick, was it? Because Birmingham just didn't perform on the night. So certainly in the first half of the meeting. Plymouth obviously got a good result at Redcar. They managed to come away from that meeting with a point. I think the other problem, the next meeting is Glasgow against Newcastle on Friday, which on the face of it is looking like it might be another bit of a one-sided meeting, to be fair. But I think next week it should be a good one because it's Oxford against Poole, so two strong sides. And of course, obviously with Oxford's it'll be their second meeting back, so all of their riders will have had a bit of experience racing on the track. So that should be a good one. But I think encouraging signs are there, and it's an opportunity that I think they've got to grasp with both hands. This streaming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good. I mean, it's a learning curve for everybody, isn't it? And it was a good start.
Yeah, it should have been something that they've looked at before now. Certainly last season at the start.
I think we mentioned it before on this programme.
Yeah, certainly at the start of last season when, of course, couldn't get fans into stadiums or limited number of fans into stadiums.
Well, we'll keep going. I think we're just about to try and get Lawrence on, because Lawrence has actually put something up on the chat, but we'll let him talk about that when he gets on. Elliot says number one is a massive issue for Newcastle.
Yeah, it is.
Who have they got at number one now? I can't remember. Is it?
I think it is Wilson
It's
Dean.
Wilson Dean, is it?
And he's not had the best of starts, so...
Yeah. Somebody, we can't see it now, I think it might have been Elliot Hunt, mentioned that the track held up really good. This is the Birmingham track.
Yeah, it did hold up fantastically.
He thought the passing was good. I don't remember there being much passing.
It was a decent
It was
competitive
okay. It was
meeting. Considering the
competitive.
conditions, it was a decent meeting, to be honest.
It was great to see Birmingham pop out with a 5-1 in the first heat. That was...
yeah, what did you think of the crowd? Because
it was ever so difficult for me to judge. From where I was, I couldn't see inside, and I think most people were inside.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was thinking at about 7:15, this doesn't look great. And then, as seems to be always the case at Birmingham, they always sort of converge on the last minute. I thought, it looks better than I thought. I mean, it was a difficult one, wasn't it? Because with the best will in the world, Birmingham weren't going to pull back that deficit. It was a meeting that really, and of course Birmingham hadn't had the best of starts for the season anyway.
Apparently BSN from Redcar was good, so that's good to hear. What do we think about Plymouth this year? I think it's a tidy looking team, isn't it?
Solid team. I think they'll be, whether they'll get in the top four, I'm not so sure. Hans Andersen hasn't had the best of starts for Plymouth, I don't think.
I don't know how many times he's ridden that track. It probably takes a bit of learning.
Yeah.
I've never backed. It's a track I've never actually been to.
Yeah, I know they've done a lot of work there over the last couple of years to sort of bring it up to better standard. But yeah, they've got a solid team. They'll be in and around the mix for the playoffs. It's whether they'll be able to get points on the road. I think it's going to be the key for Plymouth.
Right, I believe we've.
You can try that. The line's not.
Okay, well, hopefully we've got Lawrence on the line. Are you there, Lawrence?
I am. Can you hear me?
Absolutely perfect. You can just if you could just turn him up a little bit in my phones, that would be great, bro. I can hear. How you doing, mate? You've been working hard tonight, I understand.
Yeah. Working hard, getting wet, but it's just finishing up the last heat round.
Okay, so what's everybody been doing there today?
Well, it's been putting the feet down, putting the tyres down. There's only 7 of us here tonight, so 8 count. 3-year-old Leo has been helping.
Is he there with his bike again?
He's there, mate.
Yeah.
They're from me in 13 years' time. So.
Absolutely. So, as I understand it, big meeting tomorrow, obviously for Birmingham against Poole, difficult meeting. You've got a few things going on tomorrow, haven't you?
Yes, it's extravaganza, basically. First 50 kids in get an Easter egg. We've got 4 patrols.
Lawrence, really sorry, we're having a bit of trouble with the line here, so
It's not too good.
shall we try ringing him back?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try ringing you back because it's important that you get this message out, I know. So we'll so if you go off, we'll try ringing you back and see if we can get a better connection. So yeah, while we're waiting for that to happen, Alan Peter Welsh said, I'd be interested to know how many people have subscribed to the British Speedway Network.
I'm not so sure they'll make it public, to be fair.
No. They might make it public if it was loads, I guess.
Possibly, yeah. But
It's interesting to see, so as an aside, the what they're planning for the FIM Speedway GPs on that came up, I think, yesterday, wasn't it?
yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, I haven't done a proper look through it yet, but I gather there's a lot planned.
There's a lot happening. It looks. Edward Kennett's injury already. Plymouth reserves are poor.
Well, I mean, Eddie Kennett, of course, wasn't going to ride, was he? Initially,
Well,
sort of,
now see, I have. Okay, I'm going to put my cynical head on now. I'm sorry about this. You make up your own minds, but he wasn't going to ride, and then he was going to ride, and then he didn't ride, and Plymouth were allowed to have a guest for him, which they wouldn't have been able to have if he hadn't ridden for them.
That's it. So technically withholding your services, wasn't he?
So I was that. I'm not saying anything else because I don't want to be libelous. But
Yes, this was our last show. Thanks for listening over the last years or whatever.
Make up your own mind on that one. Yeah. Pete Allen Wells says she's joined. He's had trouble putting on the TV last Friday, but it is well done.
Yeah, they did have a couple of problems, didn't they? I gather last week as well with the sound. I think at Red
A bit
Card.
like we're having at the moment.
Yeah.
BBC WM covering Wolves and Birmingham meetings live on their internet links, and they do a damn fine job of it.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
do a good job, to be fair, at WM. So they've always been quite strong supporters of Speedway
It's possibly not the easiest sport to cover
on the radio.
on the radio. It's quite a visual thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Elliot says it was hard to hear what our
Yeah, well,
Lawrence was saying.
hopefully Chris is
He's working on it.
put
at the
another slot in
moment.
the meter that we can.
Palm Toft at Plymouth hasn't started well either, which actually surprises me.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's a rider that, notwithstanding what happened with him at Red Car last year, I think he's a tidy rider.
Yeah.
And Paul Dyke said, I can't see all of this, but I can't believe still that Ellesmere Port closed
Port.
after winning the league. Well, isn't that what Workington did?
Yeah. Bradford did as well in '97, won the league and they closed down. So it does happen before.
I believe we might...
No.
No.
Get my headphones on. Yeah, unfortunately, the line's too bad, and I think we'd have trouble getting the message over. It's just,
Okay.
it's just too bad. I think he's got something
That's a
wrong
shame.
with, not quite right with his phone, and
He's probably put it out in the rain again. Knowing Lawrence. Okay, so I can give you the gist of what I know Lawrence was going to talk about, which is it's Extravaganza Day at Birmingham tomorrow. I've got a few things happening. It's obviously it's the holidays, so we're trying to pull kids in and so on. So
Paw
kids
Patrol.
Yeah, I'm coming to it.
Okay.
Kids under a certain age go free. That I'm looking at you and that no. The first
It's been a
50
long time since I've been allowed into a.
the first 50 kids through the turnstile get an Easter egg.
Oh,
That's good.
Isn't
Yep.
that's
That
a
is good.
lovely
That's a
little
nice idea, that is, yeah.
thing? Yeah, the first 50 people through the turnstiles get an Easter egg. There is a Paw Patrol character going to be present at the track tomorrow, as there is going to be a magician, a close-up magic magician who's going to go round in the crowd when the tractors are racing. So I think that's all good.
yeah. Not going to saw you in half, is it?
There's plenty of people out there that would pay to see that, I'm sure. You're probably one of them.
Have you read the comment regarding Ellesmere Port?
We couldn't
Yes.
see it all. I think
Okay,
we got
I'll
the
get
gist of it.
all in.
So
There we go. Okay.
Not sure that would happen in any other sport. Was
no,
the
I don't
end
think it
of
does,
yeah.
is it?
It's one of the vagaries of Speedway. It's the only in Speedway syndrome
Yeah.
that if you win something in this sport, you end up paying for it because it means you're paying lots of money out to riders for a start off.
As I've said, it punishes success and rewards failure. That seems to be the way Speedway's.
And I don't know what the answer is to that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just go from Craig Smee. BSN announced a new app which is coming to, which will allow people to download on their phones, and it's coming to Amazon Fire TV as well, which should move forward. So yeah, they're doing a lot of things really to make sure that this works. To be honest,
That's really good.
Don't really want it to be one of these things that disappears after a year, do we? So, which has happened in Speedway before and in the past, unfortunately.
David James says he's going to go Glasgow, Poole, Edinburgh and Birmingham for the top 4. That's an interesting... We should talk a little bit about...
It's 53-37 is the final score down at Plymouth, so a good win for the Centurions. So Dan Julks 11-1, Henry Atkins 13-1. They're the top scorers for Plymouth. Ben Trigger's got 9-1 from reserve. Disappointing performance from Bellevue, really. Nathan Ablett was their top scorer with 8. Jack Smith 6-1. Jack Smith hasn't really kicked on, has he, really, from the progress that he made when he first burst onto the scene at Perry Bar.
No, he hasn't.
Just,
Sheffield Speedway are doing first 100 children through turnstiles against Bellevue on
Thursday.
We can do it on Thursday. We're just getting a little bit at a time here. Get an Easter egg. I'd take my lad over the Pennines, but it might be a bit late for him to come on Thursday night. But is excited to visit Bellevue versus Wolves.
So am I, because I shall be there on Monday, all being well, up in Manchester.
Well, let's talk about all things Wolves at the moment. What's been happening?
Not a lot, not since last week. There's not been any matches for Wolves since then.
No.
So we were supposed to be at Sheffield on Thursday, but that's obviously been pushed back because the Bellevue meeting was called off last week, so that's been staged on Thursday. So Wolves' next action is the double-header. So up to Manchester in the morning for a 12 o'clock start against Bellevue, and then the return match at Monmouth and 8 o'clock in the evening.
Will you be doing both matches?
I shall be doing both meetings, all being well, yes. So looking forward to that one.
Great.
First away meeting I've been to in 3 years. So
Wow.
yeah,
COVID playing a big part
obviously
in
I
that.
didn't do any away meetings last year because it was. But
It was difficult, wasn't it? Lawrence says, sorry we couldn't get a good line, but I think the lads have mentioned Paw Patrol joining Brummy Bear, Kids Games, Centre Green Experience, Easter eggs for the first 50 children. I think we got most of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's Lawrence doing for an encore? So. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, hopefully that gets well received as well. So, and hopefully this stuff that's over us at the moment will be somewhere else.
What, the roof?
No, what's
really
above
do
the
need
roof?
Yeah, I mean, I think the weather forecast for tomorrow is promising. So,
Yeah, it looks good.
and this rain may well have done the track a bit of good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because one good thing about our track is it drains very quickly. So, anyway, sorry. Stop talking about Birmingham. Naughty boy.
Let's talk. Should we talk about Oxford for a bit then?
That would be a great idea. So,
Sorry, were you going to say something?
I'd just like to read the next line from David James. Plymouth will be good at home, but rubbish away.
Yeah, that's going to be their issue, I think, to be fair.
are they the new Eastbourne? Is that what we're saying?
Possibly, yeah.
Oxford make their reappearance to the sport tomorrow. Right move to go in at this level, do you think?
I think so, yeah. It would have been a huge gamble to have gone back into the top league. And obviously they are doing National League as well with another team. But I think at this level, it's a good competitive level, to be fair. And, yeah, should be good. Look, really,
Is there much difference between this league and the top league?
Probably not really, because it's effectively the same riders, isn't
At
it?
the top end, there certainly is, and possibly at the bottom end.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. There's a stronger bottom end, I think.
Although, you think
Top
look at our reserves, and they are both reserves
in the top league.
In the top league. So.
But
Maybe
no, I mean,
that's-
I think it's a good match for them as well. Scunthorpe, it'd be a good competitive match. I think the obvious Scunthorpe probably might well feel well. There's possibly a chance of going there and getting something because they won't have had much race experience on the track. Obviously, Scott Nichols has ridden there before, but not for a long time.
It's probably not going to be the same, is it?
Possibly not. No, I don't know whether the dimensions of the track are exactly the same as they were before.
They never rode the same when you relay them anyway, do
Yeah.
they?
But no, it's fantastic for speed to see.
It's great.
Oxford back.
I think it's great for Birmingham Speedway in a sense that it's another
Relatively
local-ish,
Yeah,
relatively
it's
local.
relatively local. Yeah, it's only just over an hour and a half down the motorway, down the M40 for that. So,
So
if we've got any Oxford fans that are watching us tonight, let us know how you're feeling about tomorrow.
I bet you're made up.
Is it reminding you of the build-up to 2007 a little bit?
Yeah, I remember how that felt.
Yeah.
It's a sellout at
Yes,
Oxford tomorrow.
yes,
It's
It's,
good.
yeah.
And of course, Crumpy's the team manager there this year, so
Some experience there, just a bit.
yep.
Oxford won't have as many bumps.
And of course,
I mean, I've seen pictures of the track and it does look super smooth.
Yeah.
It does look really nice.
And of course, Hans Nielsen is an absolute legend at Oxford. Of course, with their special guest, so I'm sure Hans is looking forward to going back there. And because he had some fantastic
Another
years.
similarity.
Yeah, Hans had some fantastic years at Oxford. I mean, they without doubt they got the best out of him as a rider. I mean, his glory days were when he was with Oxford. I mean, as I said before, when I first started watching Speedway, they were the top team. They were the ones to beat.
You had people like Simon Wigg.
Yep, Simon Wigg, God rest his soul, and Martin Dugard, I think, was there as well for a
Andy
short
Graham
time.
was there as well.
Yeah, I think him and Hans Nielsen had a pretty potent 1-2 pairing, didn't they, for a long time at Oxford? So
During the war.
yeah,
Rich Thomas says, I used to work for Travis McGowan when Oxford last ran.
yeah, in 2007, Oxford.
The year that we started.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it's good because the last 2 or 3 seasons before Oxford closed, it sort of had that feeling of being run into the ground a little bit, and that it was sort of struggling. But they've had a bit of time. What they've done there with the stadium is fantastic because it was
Fan power again as well.
yeah,
Isn't
a
it?
lot of work had to be done because it's I think 2012 was when it was last run for dogs, so it had been pretty much derelict for 9 years, and as Craig said there as well, if Oxford can do it, then it must give hope for other clubs, like
Especially
particularly
Coventry. I mean, it is
particularly
good news,
Coventry.
this planning application that's going in.
Yeah, well, when you look at the plans, they look really, really exciting, and
Yeah.
it's something that, as I said, that would benefit the local area as well.
Well, we'll put the link up actually for www.savecoventryspeedway.com.
Oh.
People should have a look at that because, as I say, all the information about the planning application is there and give you the idea of what they want you to write and etc. etc. So
Anthony Bailey says, is it possible to do the same outside Villa Park or St Andrews on a
he's
match
talking
day?
about the fact that,
Only a
that
thought.
Birmingham did a display at the One Stop Saturday, which was great. Something that people have been crying out for
Doing that.
different promotions to do.
They did bring the bikes down to St Andrews, I remember.
Christoph Kasperzak signed his contract on
That's right.
St Andrews, didn't he, I think?
Yeah. But it was St
Seasons ago.
Andrews, so nobody saw it.
Worked out well, didn't it? Because it wasn't exactly the most successful signing, was it?
I saw it.
It was the best number one we'd had up to that point, I have to say, in that league.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think he probably still is the best number one we've had in that league.
Probably, yeah. Didn't show it enough, though, did he, unfortunately? So
Paul Griffiths asks, how many Oxford supporters kept going to Speedway during the years with no team? That's a good question.
I did see a handful, to be fair. Certainly when we used to go to Cardiff, you'd invariably see quite a few Oxford shirts around. So, yeah.
I mean, I have to say, when Birmingham went in
86.
Yeah, I think that's about right. 80-something anyway. I didn't go and watch Speedway anywhere else. Very difficult for me to do that because it was a much more partisan period anyway.
Yeah.
And so for me to go and support Coventry would be like you going to support Aston Villa. It's just not going to happen. And I did think about going to Cradley just to support the other team.
Yeah.
But the other team has always lost anyway, so
Well,
what was the point in that? Simon Corbett says, is Swindon ever coming back? Well,
I think Swindon will come back,
yeah,
to be honest. I mean,
there are good signs at the moment.
there's good
aren't
signs.
there?
At least there is something happening there, to be honest. And to be fair, I think the top league sort of counting on Swindon coming back a little bit, to be honest, just to boost the numbers.
That's a good one.
That's a good question. Do you want to read it out?
I don't understand why Speedway clubs who have football teams near their stadium don't put advertisements in the football programmes promoting Speedway. Surely it can't cost too much to do that, no?
Of course, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of crossover in the seasons. I mean, now is the time.
That's the problem.
Lawrence, over to you, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, Lawrence says they're going to be doing a reciprocal one. That's a display with Solihull Moors.
Oh, good.
That's not a bad idea.
Excellent.
Rich Thomas says a few Oxford fans came to Swindon fairly regularly, but the rivalry kept a few of them away.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem I had. I'm older and wiser now, and if Birmingham,
Not older.
no, I mean, I already made up my mind. If that Birmingham this year hadn't existed, I was probably going to go to some of the, do a tour of the Midland tracks.
Yeah.
Sometimes go to Wolverhampton. Sometimes go to Wolverhampton. Sometimes go to Leicester. I was probably go to Oxford when I can, because this sport is great.
Yep, absolutely.
This is that's something that we forget to mention at times, is that for all the things that we moan about, and I'm pretty sure they moan about things like this in other sports. I don't know. I can't think of many other sports that make you just go, "Did I just see that?"
Yeah.
No. Did that actually happen?
Yeah.
Did Mike really go up the bar and buy a pint? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's true. It really happened.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Right, now we've got 18 matches to go through on the prediction for this week, so I don't know whether you want to...
Shall I make a start on that, and then if we've got some time at the end, we
we'll get the league table
go
up
back
as
to
well.
I think I've actually got the tables.
Yeah, well, he's been looking forward to this, isn't he? So
I've got hang on, not the tables. Oh yeah, I've got the tables. I've got the fixtures as well. Do you want the tables first, the fixtures, or?
Let's put the tables at first. Just quickly get that out.
Okay.
Get that rubbish out of the way. Okay, so we have at the top we have Dylan Hodgetts. Then we've got John Bird, and we've got Ben Clifton. So Dylan Hodgetts is clear at the top. Then we have John Bird, Ben Clifton, Andrew Garner, and Dave Twine, all in equal second place. Then we have Mr. Matt Buck, I've never heard of him, in sixth place, along with Simon Corbett and Rich Thomas. Equal ninth we have Stephen Morgan and Duncan Pemberton. Equal 10th we have Jeff Daniels, Neil McLean, Gordon Gambrill. I'm coming in at 15. Elliot
I think
Punt
you
at
missed one
16.
then, Dan. Did you miss one?
And
I think
Mark
you did,
Ferguson at 17. I don't know what you mean.
I'm pretty sure you missed one there.
Sorry, yeah, Chris Miller at 11th. So there you go. But the difference between top and bottom is 11 points at the top, no points at the bottom.
yeah.
Because Mark Ferguson only predicted 2 matches and he got them both wrong.
I missed the first fixtures as well.
And you did as well, so...
I don't know about him.
It seems strange looking at one of our prediction tables and not seeing Simon at the top, because he was top all the way through last year.
Last
So,
year, yeah.
Bit of nerves, I think. He's reigning champion.
Is that why he's in gold? Because he's the reigning champion? Is that what?
well, Simon actually thought he was brown when I passed it last time, so technically it is, I suppose, in a sense, if you think about it that way.
Okay, so for those of you that are joining us for the first time, we have a little bit of fun each week. We predict the matches that are coming up. We try to give us an accurate score. If we get the result right, we get how many points?
Ask Matt, I'm not right. He's the
You
chairman.
get 2 points if you get the score right.
Okay.
Well, you get the exact score right. If you get the result right, it's 1 point, and you get out if you get them both wrong. I was thinking what to say then.
He's got to
So.
look at his own rules.
There wasn't anything else. There wasn't anything else to say, really. You didn't need to say
I'm
anything.
not sure I've got all the meetings up there, but you'll have to improvise with her.
Well, I think you've got a list. Have you
I've got a list of them, yeah.
So you
Okay, so
not that we don't trust you, but
no, I know that. So
Friday April the 15th. I wonder if I
okay,
can
so
get to that.
the first one is tomorrow's meeting at Perry Bar, Birmingham against Poole.
Okay. And as has become the tradition this year, you can start off.
Oh, okay. They've got to get a win, haven't they? I'll go Brummies by 4.
It's difficult, isn't it, without Shane?
That's what swung my prediction, actually.
I'm going to say Birmingham by 2.
I'm going to say Poole by 4.
I don't like it. Mind you, never did, to be fair. But
Fair enough. Eddie's mutual, that way.
and also on Wednesday, yeah,
Delighted to say this.
yes,
Oxford against Scunthorpe.
yay. And I'll say Oxford by 10.
I've gone Oxford by 6.
Go
Okay,
in the middle. Oxford by 8.
there you go.
Next up, we've got Ipswich against Peterborough on Thursday.
It's up to you. After this one, we'll have a look at see if anybody else has put their predictions up. Yeah,
I'll
we
look
all
at
have predictions up, guys.
I'll go
There's quite a few.
Ipswich by 8 on that one.
Ipswich by 8. Okay. Chris?
I'll go
Wake up.
Ipswich by 6.
I need to make up some points here, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Peterborough by 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really travel very well to Ipswich, do they? But
Not really, no. Okay, next up, we've got War of the Roses, Sheffield against Bellevue.
Who's this up to now? It's
And that's
you.
League Cup. I'll go Bellevue by 6.
Really?
Ooh, that's a bit cool.
I'm going to say Sheffield by 12.
I've gone Sheffield by 14 on that one.
Do you think you might have gone the wrong way there?
Probably, but you know what? I'm ahead
Speedways
of
are
you.
funny. Right, we've got a few coming up. Elliot says Scunthorpe 48, Leicester 42. We haven't even got to that yet. Edinburgh 49, Berwick 41.
Yeah, we've got plenty of fixtures to go through. So
Sheffield 48, Bellevue 42, says Ben. Sheffield by 8, says Rich. Poole 50, Oxford 40. That's the away meet, so we haven't got to that one yet. And Sheffield by 16. Redcar 42, Birmingham 48, says Elliot
She's going
Hunt.
to pull away.
Yeah, that's the very last one coming up. And I would, yes, please. I'm sorry, I got excited
let it
then.
go.
Calm down.
Okay, where are we at now?
The next one is the return of tonight's NDL match, Bellevue against Plymouth. I think that's me, isn't it?
No, it's me.
Okay.
Wish it was you. I'm going to say Bellevue by 6.
I've gone Bellevue by 10 on that one.
Go in the middle again. Bellevue by 8.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, next up, Scunthorpe against Leicester. It's a really interesting one.
Yeah. It's up to you.
I've gone a draw on that one.
Oh, see, I was thinking I might go with a draw as well.
I'll go Leicester by 4.
All right, I'm going to go Scunthorpe by 2 then. I think we're getting a bit tactical now.
Yeah.
What did you go for there, Chris? Sorry.
Leicester by 4.
Okay.
Next one is Edinburgh against Berwick.
That's up to you, Chris.
I'll go Edinburgh by 6.
That's going to be an interesting match, that, I think. I'm going to say Edinburgh by 4.
I've got Edinburgh by 10 on that one.
Okay.
Glasgow against Newcastle.
Glasgow versus Newcastle. That's up to me. Gosh, think of any number, isn't it? I'm going to say Glasgow by 16.
To me?
No, it's up to Matt. He's just busy writing at the moment.
I've gone Glasgow by 30 on that one, unfortunately. Hope I'm wrong, but
I'll go Glasgow by 10.
Okay.
I think Newcastle would take that, to be honest.
There are plenty of teams that take that at Glasgow.
Yep.
Rich Thomas says Glasgow by 22. Ben Clifton, Glasgow 60. Newcastle 30. Simon Corbett, Glasgow by 32. Edinburgh 43. Berwick 47, says Ben Clifton. Interesting.
Okay, next one is Poole against Oxford.
Poole against Oxford. Yeah, I do like the look of the Oxford team. But, yeah, anyway, it's up to you.
50-40 in favour of Poole in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go by 10. Paul.
I'll say Poole by 12. Just because I want to be different to you two.
Well, can't dispute that.
One of these days I'm going to go by 12 and a half.
Okay. Next one is Red Car against Birmingham.
Red Car versus Birmingham. That's up to you, Chris.
Yeah. Right, okay, I'll go red car by 12.
I'm going to say a draw.
Hey?
Not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say Birmingham by 30, but
You're going to go for a draw?
yeah, I'm going to go for a draw.
It's not how you spell Red Car. I've gone Red Car by 6 on that one.
Okay. To be honest, I'd probably take that.
Plymouth ran them close, to be fair, last week, didn't they? So
Red Car 55, Birmingham 35, says Ben Clifton. Red Car by 14, says Rich Thomas. Red Car by 14, Simon Corbett. Okay, don't like any of you. And the next match is...
Next one is Berwick against Edinburgh.
Berwick versus Edinburgh. It's up to me. I'm going to say Berwick by 10.
Is it my go?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No.
No, it's Matt.
No,
isn't
it's
it?
Matt's go.
51-39 in favour of Berwick, so Berwick by 12.
Okay.
I'll go Berwick by 10.
Okay. We've got Berwick by 12, Berwick by 8. 50-40 to Berwick, like a Ben Clifton. And the next match.
Next one, what about this one then? Leicester against Poole.
Oh,
Leicester have thumped everybody that's gone to...
and you get the unenviable task of going first on that one.
I still think Leicester will win it, but I think it'll be closer than the meetings that they've had already. I've gone by 14, so 52-38 to...
Okay.
I'll go Leicester by 10.
I'm going to say Leicester by 8. That's going to... I think I might want to go and might pop down and see that match.
Are there any more meetings after that, or...?
Yeah, got 6 more.
Oh, is
Six.
that-
I've got them here, Chris. So.
Okay.
So the next one, dipping into the NDL, Berwick against Armadale.
And this is up to you, Chris.
Berwick by 8.
Berwick by 10.
$50-40, so that's it. Okay. Next one is Newcastle against Edinburgh.
Newcastle versus Edinburgh. It's up to me, isn't it? I'm going to say Edinburgh by 6.
I've gone Edinburgh by 10.
We've got some Edinburghs by 8 and Edinburgh by 12. Berwick 54, Armadale 36.
I'll go Edinburgh by 6.
Newcastle 40, Edinburgh 50.
Okay, next one is the first one that I'll be at on Monday, Bellevue against Wolves.
I don't think we've yet seen where Wolves really are. I think, yeah, it's up to you anyway.
Oh.
No.
Well, we won there.
Struggling with
Yeah.
heart and
We
head
won,
here, aren't
we
we?
won there twice last season. I didn't go to either of them, so I think it'll be close, this one, though, but I'm going to go for Bellevue by 4.
Okay, Chris.
I'll go Bellevue by 12.
I'm going to say Bellevue by 10.
Confident there then.
We've got Wolves. We've got a few there. We've got Bellevue 41, Wolves 49. You'd settle for that, wouldn't you?
I certainly would.
Bellevue by 6 with Rich Thomas. And then I presume we've got Wolverhampton versus Bellevue.
First of all, we've got Peterborough against Kings Lynn.
Peter versus Kings Lynn. It's up to you, Chris.
Kings Lynn by 6.
Ooh, that's a bit of a coop and buster, that one, isn't it?
Wow. Okay. Peterborough by 12.
Oh, no, never know, do you?
I've gone Peterborough by 10.
Yeah.
What did you go for, Mike? Sorry?
Peterborough by 12. You don't need to worry about mine because I've got mine written down here if you want
Okay.
to have a look at them afterwards.
Next one is the return match at Monmouth on Monday. That's Wolves against Bellevue.
Wolves versus Bellevue. And it's me, so I'm going to say Wolves by 10.
I've gone Wolves by 12.
I'll go Wolves by 14.
Ooh, I like that. Probably won't happen now. And last but by no means least, Plymouth against Leicester on Tuesday. So that'll be during next week's show.
Plymouth versus Leicester. And it's up to you.
I've gone Pool by 10.
Pool. I thought you said Plymouth.
Come on.
Sorry. Yeah.
Can't get the stuff, can you?
What can
This
you
is
do?
rehearsal, isn't it? No, it's no slide.
No,
No, I've gone for
It's
Pool,
barely live.
Yeah, Leicester by 10. Sorry.
Leicester by 10, okay.
It's the white thing. Mm-hmm. Is it Plymouth or Paul?
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
It is Plymouth, yeah.
Plymouth
I know it's the same part of the
confused
country
now.
almost.
I'll go Plymouth by 4.
Ooh.
I'm going to say a draw. I like my draws, don't I?
Yeah.
We don't want to go there.
No.
Not when I'm drinking. Okay, and that concludes
18 matches, so a big, busy Easter
There's a
period.
few
Yeah,
points there
busy
to
Let's-
beat the pull away with.
let's
That
hope
league table
the weather-
could look completely different.
It could.
It could.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
It certainly could.
I
What
could-
do you mean,
I
you
could
mean
be
this
on the
league
bottom.
table? Yeah. This one
I
there
could
we're
be on the
way
bottom.
ahead, yeah. Okay.
Right.
So I have put the all these matches up on the chat anyway, so they'll be on the group page as well. So if you want to put them there, I know so a lot of you are putting them on the feed. Simon's just said, "Are you copying me, Chris?"
That's a terrible accusation.
That's a yes then.
Just copying the winner, isn't it? That's why Simon's mid-table.
Oh,
at the
come on,
moment.
look at some of my predictions. You think I'm copying anybody?
Well, there is that, yes. I mean, Kings Lynn to win at Peterborough, I think you
Well, this
predicted.
is the man that a couple of years ago led the table for about 6 months,
Yeah.
No, yeah, see?
and then just
He's probably
imploded.
people are probably copying
And then
me.
it imploded as the pressure got on to him.
So I'd like to finish tonight's show by making the sort of observation that for the first time for a very long time, this show has been pretty much optimistic.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we've got Oxford coming back. We've got the possibility of good things happening at Coventry.
Yep.
The Birmingham track and everything that's gone with it and the team. BSN,
Yep.
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been...
Yeah. Wolves haven't lost a match this week.
I'm
We haven't
actually-
written a bit, did we?
I'm actually thinking this might be one of the very rare shows where the governing body hasn't been mentioned.
Until now.
Yeah, until now. That's why I didn't say
Yeah.
the actual letters. Yeah. There we go.
What's this? Birmingham 42,
Oh, sorry.
48 Paul.
Yes, he's.
Oh, okay,
those-
that
those-
makes sense.
put all
Okay,
these
he's put
in
them all in one go.
one, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
got confused then. I thought,
See if he's copying me. I just want to see if he's copying me. No, you're all right. Because I don't want anybody copying me.
and
please.
Craig says, I'd love to see some movement over at Bradford as well to bring Speedway back.
Well, of course, you've got the stocks back, haven't you? So is it stocks? It is the stocks, isn't
I
it?
think it's the stocks, yeah. It would be nice. I think you mentioned it last week. It would be nice to have another place to have a GP, and that would fit
Oh, certainly would.
Fit the bill.
The stadium's big enough.
It's a massive
As I said,
stadium.
I've still got my doubts as to whether that's feasible for
League Speedway.
or viable for league racing, but certainly for stock for a Grand Prix and for big meetings there. Then
Which other meetings would you like to see back?
meetings.
If you, grounds,
Well, Cradley.
Staying apart from Cradley.
Well, no, I'd like to see Cradley
Yeah.
back. I'd love
Coventry,
to have the chance to
obviously.
beat them,
Yeah.
obviously.
Obviously, yeah. So would I.
But are there any more from yesteryear?
Crew, Ellesmere Port,
Crew, they have a speedway.
Teesside,
It would be fantastic to see a track back in London again.
yes,
Yeah.
Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Are there any tracks in?
No,
Not a single
not one there.
track.
West Ham.
Wimbledon was the
Used
last.
to have
Wimbledon, West Ham. You had Harringay. You had
The
Hackney.
nearest we've had has been Rye House,
Yeah.
and that's gone now.
Because White City was a big venue, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Once there
White
was
City,
for,
yeah.
Speedway.
Exeter says Rich Thompson.
Championships as well.
Thomas even. Stock Car and Bangor Racing plus Bradford Bulls. Seymour says Glen Clifton. Can we see more? Possibly, yeah. But way too big for a league team. Be great for a SEC or a SGP. We haven't got a SEC in this country, have we?
No.
That'd be nice.
I think they'd like to pretend it doesn't exist in this country. To be fair, but
Well, there is that, yeah.
yeah,
Reading,
Reading. I mean, obviously
Newport.
we had.
Exeter, Swindon,
Hull,
Reading.
Hackney. We've got Hull. Would be good to
Hull.
see back. Yeah.
Hull.
At Workington, of course. Work is proceeding at the new track and stadium at Workington. That's another sort of good news story as well. It's Brian Buck. Have we met?
Yeah,
Has he
we
been?
have
in?
indeed, yeah.
Vagabond.
And Chris Smith said he's seen a video of Craig Boyce thumping Gollab at Hackney from GP qualifying 1995. That track looked decent. That was great. That was great video.
It was a
That
great video there. I don't agree with Craig's comment about the track being decent. I thought it was a terrible track.
Okay.
They did when it was rebuilt for the GP. I mean, they only had 2 Grand Prix there, but it was I mean, they had the
Halifax.
London, Halifax would be another one, wouldn't it? I mean, I think the Shay's obviously being squared off now, isn't it? So I definitely see a chance of getting Speedway back into there.
Ben Clifton says Rye House apparently still got a chance for next year.
Well, let's hope so.
That would be good. It's a Saturday track,
So
isn't it?
you say Halifax the Shay, wasn't the football ground called the Shay as well? Wasn't it? So,
Yeah, it was the same place.
Was
Same
it?
place, yeah.
Really?
Same place, yeah.
Yeah.
How did they get a speedway track in there?
You get round it,
Yeah.
round the football track. That's Berwick as well, isn't it? It's round
Suppose
the
it was
outside.
quite a-
Berwick, yeah,
quite a
Shelford
big
Park.
ground,
Somerset, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, I only went to Somerset once. Really,
Great
apart
track.
from the fact that we lost, it was.
Did
I
it
enjoyed
did it look vaguely familiar to you? The Somerset track when you went,
Didn't really notice, to be honest.
because our track's based on it.
Oh, oh yes, I remember someone telling me that once.
Okay.
Just not quite that the straights are not as long. Craig Smith says, "Did Rye House get flattened? I thought they dug it all up." I don't think so. I think it's still there as a.
I think, I know they were doing some work. I
go-karts,
think they
isn't
were
it?
doing some work there. It's a real shame as well because I mean, I went there for their first meeting in the top flight, and you really got a good vibe about the place. To be honest, they're doing a lot of work in bringing it up to standard. There was a massive crowd as well. I think probably the big problem they had was the fact that they lost the Saturday night racing. And it was they ended up
gosh.
racing on Mondays.
I think that's Chris's.
That's his cue.
clue
That's his cue for us to go away.
to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go home.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. Tonight's been a great night once again. Get out there, see your team, get your Easter eggs, have fun. See you soon, guys. Bye.
See ya. Good night.
Good night.
To the Speedway Tavern. What's the news today? Have a drink, have your say. All opinions here today. Welcome to the Speedway